Okay, we're live. Wendy and Ronnie, thank you so much for allowing me to be your real estate agent. Certainly had a lot of fun with you guys, find your home. I was wondering if you could, in your own words, just explain what you think of my real estate services.
Ladies first.
We couldn't be more pleased. I mean, we've just been so pleased with, not from beginning to end, it was so efficient, and you found the most amazing house for us that we could ever dream of, beyond our dreams, which we have pretty big dreams, so. We couldn't be more pleased.
And I would have to say that, and I shared this with Wendy, and I shared it with Larry, my brother, and I just somehow saw I can't remember, in Boulder, I just saw your name in your picture, and I don't know why, but I just went to that and I contacted you.
Yeah.
And immediately, within a day or so, we were making plans to go up to these different places. You were easy to talk to right from the get-go. You were doing the right thing. You were showing me the right places. However, she wasn't here yet, and that made it a little bit difficult for you. But as soon as the two of us got together, and then mainly when she saw the house, I mean, you had the gestalt for it. You just knew. And as we looked that day, when she said, and I told you later that she turned to me and she goes, "Tell them this is the one we want." And then when we finally got outside, you went, "I know." And so that made it really. I mean, that and it's true. I mean and that's the way it should be, because it was fluid. Mm-hmm. It was like we went from.
It was so fast. I mean,
yeah.
It's amazing.
And then I guess also too that's, I'm not going to say the easy part. That's a good part of it. And then the bad part comes, which is all that financial.
Oh.
And
But that was also
then,
very professional.
right.
Yeah.
And then you helped us with, getting the little.
In every part of the transaction.
Getting all the, when they say "Mother, may I," and you can't do this, and you can't do that. Everything was done. And I never did get to say that, those people, that family, the Latino family, did an excellent job.
Yeah.
They really did. And you could tell, I didn't really notice it at first, because it was snow and all that stuff when I got back.
Right.
But then you can tell the difference from what they did when they did that, and then like in the deck, which we're going to do. But it's okay right now.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And so that, you made that was like no big deal. That was taken care of. And then also with Dana worked with us. So, I mean, these are people that you've worked with before, you knew. She made it super duper easy. And I guess first and foremost for both of us, in my lifetime, I never thought I'd live in a place like this ever in my life,
Yeah.
Right, because you showed us 5, and 3 out of the 5 were great houses. It's just that this was just elevated, literally and figuratively, so much. I mean, it was like we were wrestling the first day with which of those 3, and then when we saw this, it's like, oh my gosh, and this better work out, because now we have to have this house.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it worked out that way. I mean, that's the whole thing, is that we developed a relationship. We'll wait till the phone stops.
Here, I'll pause that.
Okay.
There we
And
go.
so we developed a relationship, and in those days, just sitting in the car and talking and whatever, and just getting to know one another, and that's important.
Yeah.
That it's more than just a job or whatever. We had a relationship, and then I felt as comfortable with that as then when you met Zach and David when they came into town, and
And Zach in 6 years, he may be looking for a house in the Fort Collins area, but that's his contract, 6 years, and pretty sure he's going to be in New York during that time. So that won't.
So
But I certainly highly recommend anyone looking for a house in this area. You would be the first person I'd recommend. And if something happens, hopefully it won't, that we needed to sell this place, you would definitely be
Yeah,
the
for
person,
sure.
that would be showing it.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well,
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah,
in
you
life,
never
but-
know. But I do think also too, because you just were with him only up here
Mhm.
for the most part, but it was very evident to me that you know Colorado. To be honest with you, I mean, you knew about Pueblo, you knew about all those places.
Right.
I knew nada, and I mean, you know the back roads, you know the dealio.
You know, I mean, these mountain communities around here, and you just, I mean, I don't know, you knew what you were doing. And that twisty, windy road to get here, and I can't believe that wasn't a deal breaker for me, but it wasn't, and I'm scared of heights, but,
I had to have the perfect house at the
yeah,
end
I
of the
mean,
road.
this is a great house, because that could have been a deal breaker for
Yeah,
me.
absolutely.
And then when the people, when Evan came, they rented the car at the airport, and so they drove here.
Oh, wow.
And so he and his wife, they were just going, oh, well,
I can't believe
Yeah.
you live on this road,
Yeah.
how do you tolerate
And even
it?
David and Mary, our cousins were
Yeah.
saying, oh my God, you gotta do this.
Only
all the time."
Zach's probably took it more lightly than the rest of them, but, I said, there are a few curves that I still kind of say, don't talk and don't take your eyes off the road, but other than that.
But she's gotten better with
I've gotten
that.
so much better. I mean, I have to say, after this many months, they're only, like I said, sometimes I don't even think about the drive as we're going down, so it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah,
But we come home to our house, and it's like, I guess this is an aside, but if we're going to be gone for a long time, and we did this for Evan when he was here with his wife and kids, we turned the lights on, the porch lights, and
Oh,
the
wow.
thing, and you can see this house
oh, yeah.
from the road.
It's
You know,
so
with the
cool
lights.
because you really can't, I think you will be able to with the other houses being built, but you can't, we're the only lights that I see,
Right.
from the road, from the
Right.
highway. And so it's kind of interesting to actually know, oh, that's my house.
Well, from a hill from my house down in Denver, I know where the nuts of the hill, where
Oh.
it slopes down, so I know where you guys are at. I can see
Yeah.
that
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
150 miles away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're the person that told Ronnie, it looks like a cat's head, and then, and with the
It-
two little ears.
Right.
And,
And as I said, ours
that-
is where the dip of the right ear, and
Yep.
Noah, he thought that was funny because it was a cat,
oh, and
stuff.
this is funny too. Noah, the 5-year-old, he's very dramatic anyway, but when he walked in this house, he said, "Oh, boy, this house should be on the Today Show."
And then when he woke up a couple days later, fog set in,
How cool.
and
We were in a cloud,
and he
Yeah.
said, "You say because
And he said, "I feel like we're in heaven,"
Yeah.
right,
So it
and
is.
this
I
is
mean,
heaven."
Yeah.
They just, and Evan and Sandy and the three boys, they travel a lot. I mean, that's one of their things, and they loved it. I mean, they were so blown away by this place. They will definitely be back. I know.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, but everybody that's come has been just blown away by it. And I still love the drive. Now I get more into just how beautiful the drive is. And I said, the reason I can tolerate it is because, not only because the house is so cool, but the drive itself is so beautiful that I try to, and like they say, it's really safer than being on the interstate. I mean, yes, it's unusual to have to be up that high and have those curves where you don't know whether anyone's coming around you. But as I want to put a mirror there or something. But it's such just to me, this whole mountain area, this ranch or whatever, is just so beautiful,
It is, absolutely.
I just don't think I'll ever get tired of it. And it changes. I mean, not just the seasons, but time of day, the way the sun is, whether it's going down or whether it's, real early or everything, the darks and lights. Of course, being an artist is just perfect, but, it's just amazing. So we couldn't be more pleased. I mean, and I'm not scared. I thought I would be. He had to go out of town about a month after I was here, and I would have thought, oh, there's no way I'm going to have to go down to Fort Collins and stay in a motel or something. But I'm not scared at all up here. Maybe I don't think I think it would be nice to maybe have a rifle or something, but, and I've never been a gun person, but it's so peaceful, and my feeling is for anyone to actually get on this road and keep going, you know, they'd have to really know a lot about this area. And even then, I mean, you just don't see hardly.
It takes 15 minutes to get
It's
up
so isolated and just
Yeah.
so peaceful. I feel safer here than I did in our neighborhood in Memphis. And that, we live in a safe suburb, but that's a dangerous city, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And even Fort Collins seems pretty safe. So this whole area is just so much safer than what I'm used to, that I feel safer here than I have in a long time. So.
I love it here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wouldn't have it any other way, and owe it to you.
Yeah, I mean, we feel so blessed that you showed us the house, you know. And it was really, you know, I can see how you might not have shown it, because it was really considerably more than our target price range, you know.
It was, but when you said, this is what I want, I go, I'll have the house.
Well,
I mean,
and she-
somehow you made it. The three of us made it happen. I mean, as far as, you know, I think you had a lot to do with that, particularly
Oh,
with the VA loan. We've never used that before, and I'm not sure why, but that really saved us. That allowed us to get the house, I think, and also saved us a lot of money. So,
Absolutely.
you know, you really, if you hadn't been a realtor, I feel certainly wouldn't have. Even if someone had shown us the house, or they probably would have never shown it because they would just thought we couldn't afford it, you know. And we would have thought that. I mean, if I'd seen that advertised, I thought, well, that's a great house, but there's no way, you know. So, but when we saw it, and, you know, we wanted to believe we could afford it.
You guys are so funny.
It is, because I go back to my previous statement, is that it sounds melodramatic, but, you know, just a kid from the Midwest growing up in a lower middle class family in Indianapolis, Indiana, and in the latter part of my life, I'm living here.
Well, yeah, I think my brother has been pretty blown away.
Yeah.
In fact, that's another potential customer, because they're one of the families that came here with their two kids, and he's a psychologist in Memphis, and he loved this place so much that they have decided to he's going to try to get his practice out, you know, figure out a way to make a living out here so he can move out here in this area. Now I think they see themselves, because they have the younger children, they're only 4 and 11, moving to Fort Collins area, you know, something. But they love this house. In fact, they're planning on spending an awful lot of time here, actually. So,
Good thing you have that big basement, right?
Exactly. And they use it. I mean, the whole thing is everybody that stayed here, they go at
and
night.
they've traveled everywhere too. I mean,
They close the door.
Once again, they were blown away. They're just like,
You know,
Yeah.
and, you know, granted, he used it more as like an office type thing, but,
what are you talking about? The library?
downstairs, the whole downstairs.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
really kind of, as far as he was concerned with him just living here, it was just mainly this.
Right.
So
Yeah.
downstairs,
Well, and that's all we really use. I mean, we like having the downstairs, like you said, it's like the ultimate guest quarters. I mean, they have their own kitchen, for goodness sake, you know.
I know.
It's crazy. Their own theater room, for goodness
Right.
sake,
yeah,
you know.
that, yeah.
Crazy.
And when people see that, you know,
It sounds, I mean, we never even thought about it. I mean, you may have, because you like that kind of stuff, but I mean, never thought
Well,
about it.
it's almost like that commercial. I know you've seen on TV. I don't know what it's for, but where they're looking for a house, and he pushes that bear that's on it's an empty house, but it's some shelves, and he pushes this bear, and the two doors open up like that, and it's this media room, like what do they call it? Man cave.
Man cave?
Exactly. And he
Well-
goes, "We'll take it."
And I have to give Dwight credit. That's one plate. He made that so authentic.
Yeah.
You know, from the velvety ropes and the ceiling, and I mean, it's crazy. It's just, I mean, he spent a lot of effort and money, and it was really nice of him to leave everything, because
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, that, you know, that it just.
that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's very,
And
very
of course,
rare.
to me, the most amazing thing here, though, is that spiral staircase to me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just, when I heard that he was actually involved in designing and making it, that's pretty amazing, you know. I said, I can't believe he left it. You know, I think I'd have to have found a way to take it out.
Well, the neighbors down there, they were saying that if there's a fire, he said you need to cut the roof cut the roof, and have a helicopter come in.
Pull it out.
Pull it out. Sounds like a plan. But we are so pleased that, you know, that we're here and we're settled, and this is our retirement. This is where we're gonna be for quite a while.
Yeah, as long as we can make it happen. I said, one thing that I think it makes sense is, old as we are, some people may question, like, what the heck, you know, we upscaled instead of, you know, most people downscaled.
Right,
But it's big enough that those guest quarters could also be a caretaker's living quarters. And instead of going to
Absolutely.
an assisted living,
yep,
we could just bring someone here, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's, I think that would, because they have room and board, so we still have to pay them, obviously, but not nearly as much as an assisted living cost, you know?
yeah.
So I
Here, I'm
feel
gonna
like,
turn this off.
I feel like